Hi, I'm Jennifer Hollick with Ancestral Souls. Today I'd like to chat a little bit about repetition and expanding and stepping more into the different energetic modalities, ancestral healing modalities that are available, going beyond what we think we know, changing our perspective, and being able to not only work with ourselves and our ancestors, but then also pay it forward and work with other people. Now, I've been doing a lot of studying since 2012 when I started my personal spiritual journey, more in a more conscious way. And I've studied quite a lot of modalities. I've taken a lot of online classes. I've taken some in-person classes. And I've gotten a lot of different perspectives on a lot of different things. And in the last year, I've learned a lot about the concept of embodiment and working not only with my own stuff, but working with my ancestors while being embodied. And what does that mean? Being embodied means that our soul is securely set inside of our body. It's not out floating around somewhere else. We are grounded. We are sourced from Creator, Source, God, whatever you want to call that, through our crown, all the way down through our root chakra, and then through grounding cord or root system, however you choose to ground, all the way down into the center of Mother Earth. So we are in that space, and we do our self-work or the work we do for others from that embodied space. And it's a healthier way for us to do this work. It's also a way for us to be less triggered when things come up. And when we are triggered, being grounded, centered, sourced through the light allows us to maybe not have such a reaction that we might if we weren't grounded. We have more tools and ways to work with that. So it can be less traumatic for our nervous system, our body, the people around us maybe, and everything else going on. So when we talk a little bit about repetition, the big thing that's coming up for me, especially in the last year, is looking at certain things that I'm learning about and working with for myself in different ways. And the most recent thing is looking at grounding techniques. Now, originally I was taught that when you ground, you kind of picture your energy coming down through your body, going down through your feet into Mother Earth. It's better if you can do it barefoot outside, but you don't have to. Try and keep your feet on the ground if you're sitting, and allow the root system of the energy from you to spread out all the way through the earth, down into the heart chakra of the earth, and then pull that back up through your root system, through your body, and out your crown. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I signed up for the Shift Network's Evolved Empath Summit. And that's a free summit going on right now, this week. Lots of speakers every day. And I chose to upgrade it was a free summit, but I chose to upgrade and get the bonus materials and the recordings because I don't have time this week to watch 4 to 6 speakers a day. With those bonuses, I received energy training for empaths, a course by Wendy DeRosa, and I had not studied with her before. And I'm really enjoying this class. And she's taught me a new way to ground using a grounding cord. And that is basically where you picture the energy of what's come down through your crown chakra all the way down to your root. It kind of envelops your lower part of your body. It sits around your hips and your lower back and your lower belly, and then it extends all the way down into the earth. And I thought that was an interesting way to ground. And in one of the meditations that she's done in the class, she also expanded that up to our waist so that we were even more secure because of the work we were doing with the 3 lower chakras. So a few days ago, I followed this group called Trauma Care Aware. It's 2 women who, they're very active on Instagram, they're active on Facebook, and I read a lot of their Instagram posts and I like their graphics, and they give me little tips on how to take care of myself, how to deal with any triggers or trauma or anything that's coming up for me. And it also gives me more tools to work with the different clients that I'm coaching and doing facilitation with or teaching. And they offered a class called Find Your Ground. Now, this is where the repetition comes in a little bit. The class appealed to me for a lot of reasons. One was I wanted some new grounding techniques because it's a little bit, for me, boring and redundant to always use the same technique in every opportunity I have to ground people or ground myself. And different things work at different times. Also, I wanted to see how did they present the material, because I am always creating new online courses and doing webinars, and I wanted to see, what kind of language do they use? What might I learn from that? How are they laying out their course? How might that be beneficial to things I create in the future? And they offered, I think the workbook is like 35 or 40 pages. And I wanted to see, what did that look like? What did it contain? And they show a few examples of that on their website. Their course, Find Your Ground, is only open for a few more days this week, and then they're closing it. I'm not sure why it's not an ongoing thing, but it's not. So if you're interested, sign up for the class. You get access to it for a year. The course was reasonably priced, I thought. The content was really good. I finished it last night. I learned some new ways to ground. I learned a lot of different perspectives on how to not only center and ground myself, but ways to look at what's triggering me. Why is it triggering me? They did some of this through oracle cards that you can create. They give you different perspectives on how to work with what's coming up for you. They give you a lot of journaling prompts in the workbook. And there are a couple of meditations included with the course and a lot of really beautiful graphics that are part of the workbook. And also they're great examples of things you can create yourself with some kind of serene background, whether it's a photo that you've taken, or maybe it's stars or just a beautiful meadow or anything like that, with a quote that resonates for you, or maybe some tips. Some of their tips, as they described in the beginning, they said that this class is not meant to trigger. It's not written that way, but some people may trigger because of the content. And they had a lot of different graphics that said, okay, in the middle of a post, do you need to move? Do you need to get up and walk around? Do you need to just shake your body and get rid of the energy? What do you need to do right now to take care of you? And I thought those were great. And I haven't seen other instructors doing that kind of thing. So the combination of what I learned, what I'm starting to implement in my life and business, and what I learned about creating a product for somebody was very valuable for me. So as you are moving through whatever you're specifically moving through, whatever education you're looking for, don't rule out taking a couple of different classes on the same perceived topic, because everybody has their own way of presenting the material. Everybody has their own take on how can you ground your energy? How can you work with this? And if we circle back to the energy training for empaths class I took, I have 2 more modules to finish this week. There were 7 total. And if the Shift Network opens that up as an evergreen class, I will definitely be promoting it, because Wendy created not only content for every week module, but then almost at least a 30-minute meditation where we worked with the chakras and cleared a lot of things out. And that has been so helpful for me. So hearing her take on how to take care of myself as an empath, how to open up my chakras, how to work with the lower chakras and how it affects everything else was different than things I'd read in other books and that I'd gotten from other teachers. So again, repetition. So check out what's available. There's so much, whether it's through me or through the Shift Network, and a lot of other people, our energy healers, are creating their own webinars and meditations, and you can find so much out there. I would encourage you to start looking into these other options and see what might be a contribution for you and where that repetition might be valuable, even beyond, like I said, just helping you. What can it help you create in the future?